morning, everybody. Welcome to the call. Welcome to the call. All right, as you can see, we have our morning affirmation. I am a master trader, and with every trade, my balance grows. I am a master recruiter, and like-minded individuals are drawn to me. On in the news, that's the first thing that we do after our affirmations. Let me go ahead and refresh this to make sure nothing has been added since I opened it this morning. Okay, good. All right, so first thing this morning, we see that USD has an orange folder at 8:30 this morning. Now remember, an orange folder does not have the same impact as a red folder. Orange folder means proceed with caution. Be careful. It could, whatever trade that you're in with that currency pair, it could change at any moment. But it's not a high urgency. Now, we look down here, 7:30 this evening, AUD has a red folder. So if you are in a currency pair and you're still trading this evening and you see that you're in a currency pair with the AUD, you're going to want to get out so that you can see what direction is that going in. What you don't want to have happen is you don't want to be in that trade and then 7:30 hits, that red folder activates and sends your trade in the opposite direction. Okay, so you just want to be really, really careful with that. So far, those are the only two this morning. So hopefully we will have a wonderful, wonderful trading day. Now, let's talk about our trades from yesterday. Okay, remember we put in 4 trades. And I always tell you guys to watch and monitor your trades. Let's see. You guys hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful.
We hear you now.
Okay, good. That's all. It went unstable. But we put in 4 trades on yesterday, and I always tell you guys to make sure you're watching your trade, that you monitor it, and that you continue to move your stop loss. Now, we know that sometimes they will try to make your stop loss hit. So they'll spike the trade in the opposite direction and then continue on. Now, Danielle, I know that you were in the trades on yesterday. Did all 4 of your trades hit take profit, or did any of them hit stop loss?
They all hit.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Okay,
All hit.
okay, very good. They're very good. So this is what happened on yesterday. I moved my stop loss under the second PSAR. It spiked in the opposite direction, but then it continued on to hit take profit. So had I not moved my stop loss, then that one would have been in profit. All 4 would have been in profit for me. But that's okay because all 3 of the others hit take profit for a nice amount. So this is it. Sometimes you're going to, you'll take risk. This is not 100% guaranteed, but that's okay because you can continue to trade and and get it back, which is, exactly what I did, and then some. So it's okay. I just wanted to, but you still want to be on the safe side, using proper risk management. Okay, now as long as your account balance is comparable enough to sustain and hold that big of a pullback, that is perfectly fine. If you decide not to move your stop loss, it's completely up to you. It's what you want to do. So I'm not telling anybody you have to move your stop loss. That's absolutely not the case. It's a suggestion, just in order to, keep your loss at a minimum. All right, so the first currency pair that we are looking at here, we've got GBP AUD. It is in a buy. All right, let's see what's going on in the market. Okay, the 1 hour is buying. The 4 hour is actually going sideways. Daily. And the daily is going sideways. All right, so this is not one that we would try to get into for a lot of pips. We are not expecting this to continue its journey for a long period of time. This one is definitely going to turn around on us. We just don't know at what point it's going to turn around. Now we can lay down our support and resistance lines and get our zones and see. Right now we see that it is above the 80. It's made its turn. It started its pullback. So we're going to keep this one on a watch list. Let's wait for that to turn back around and go back into our favor for a buy, or see if it's going to continue in a sale. So we're just going to put that on our watch list and we'll come back to that one. See, GBP NZD, ooh, another strong buy. And the market is, the 1 hour is in a buy. Nice strong buy. Wonderful. The 4 hour is in a nice strong buy. Okay, as well as the daily. They are all in a buy. So GBP NZD is a definite good one to get into. Yes, it is above the 80, but we are actually, let's see. Let's go ahead and look into getting into this one for a market execution, because that alligator mouth is wide open. So we'll pull up our MetaTrader 4 on our computer. Okay, open up your GBP NZD chart, and we can see from our countdown that we have a little more than 10 minutes left before the next candle hits. Excuse me. Okay, so looking at my stochastic here, and I'm going to make it a little bigger so we can see, it has started making its turn. So remember, the stochastic says once upon a time. So it tells a story. It tells what's getting ready to happen in the market. So it is approaching its turnaround. But we're going to go ahead and just ride out. Okay. We're going to ride out that pullback. All right, so we've entered in for a market execution. We went up here, we pressed new order, we came here, we said buy by market because it is in a buy. Okay, now because we've done our market execution, we can modify it and see where we want to put our stop loss and our take profit. Now remember, always have a stop loss. Okay, and I were to put my grid back on, I'm looking at this line right here because this is the first candle and this is the first PSAR that's falling right under the first candle. Here's the second candle. That second PSAR is right under that second candle. So the PSARs show the reversal in the market. So more than likely that pullback is not going to come down past the PSAR. And that is why we place our stop loss underneath the PSAR. So either the first or the second PSAR, wherever you're comfortable. I'm going to go ahead and grab this one right here. So I follow the line over and I see the price point for that stop loss is 1.98825. So I'll come down here to my trade where it's running. I'm going to double click it and then I'm able to modify. Sometimes when you open it up or when you double click or whatever, sometimes it will be in the market execution, but that's not what you want to do. That's not what we're doing. We're going to modify. So you can either do a pending order or you can modify your current order. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to modify. Down here is the modify order box. So this is where we are going to put our information in. This up here at the top is what currently is in place. So I come down here to my stop loss box and I put my price 1.98825, and I'm going to go ahead down here and say modify. All right, so my stop loss is here in place. So if it comes down, it will stop it and it'll take me out. Okay. Now I want to show you again. So let me double click my trade. And this is what I'm talking about right here. Okay, so the modify order box is down here at the bottom. This is where my stop loss is. We just put that in. We haven't put in a take profit. Look up here at the top. This is what is currently running. Okay, so I've got my stop loss, but I don't have a take profit. So I can't enter anything here. The modify order box is down here. This is where you're going to make your changes down here. Okay, now, because we ride the alligator, okay, that alligator mouth, like I said, it is wide open. So we can actually not put in a take profit. We can just watch it and let it ride. Or you can come to your stop loss line, right click, come down to trailing stop, and then you can set a trailing stop loss, which will move your stop loss in profit once you get up to a, let's see, once it gets up to, well, actually it's whatever you set. It's actually when it starts moving. So if you set this trailing stop loss for 15 points, 15 points equals 1.5 pips. So that's 1.5 pips is what the 15 points converts to. So once your trade is in profit 1.5 pips, that stop loss is going to move into profit. So if it comes back, if it starts trailing back, it's going to take you out in profit. 2 points is going to be right here. The 20 points is actually 2 pips. So if you want a little more pullback room, because you know it's running back and forth, if 1.5 pips is too tight for you, you can do 2 pips, 2.5 pips, 3 pips, 3.5. So this is what these are down here. It's completely up to you. All right, so we're just gonna let it run and do what it does. And remember, if your stochastic is not set up like this, we definitely need to get it that way. If your stochastic does not look like mine, let's see, because it's well above the 82, approaching the 100, but it's making its turn, so we're going to let it go through its pullback and then turn back around. Okay. Now we can also go back to trading view, and we can lay down our take profit line. Let's see. Okay, so there's a couple of ways that you can do this. You can look at the candle wicks and see, and this is what I'm looking at right here, these 2 candle wicks right here. I can see as I move my mouse, it's creating a crosshair. So it allows me to line up where these wicks have come up and touched and came back down. Didn't go past that point. So that lets me know that's a support and resistance area. That's a support and resistance line. Let me change my color. Okay. So I can do it that way. Or I can also turn my candles into lines. And as you can see, the same thing where those spikes came up, that's that support and resistance line. So if you're using the candle wicks, or if you're turning it into a line, if you can, if it cleans it up a little bit better for you, you can do that as well. So guys, there's really no wrong way to do it. It's what's comfortable for you. Let's see, here's another area where it is touched multiple times. Yep, here's another one. So this one I can see it touched here, and it tried to push past here, but it couldn't. And then with this one, it came down, touched it, and went back up. So that's why they are support and resistance lines, because either the candles are going to go up and push past it, it's going to try to push through going up, or it's going to try to fight going down and break through. So that is a support and a resistance line. Support, you think about a floor. You're trying to break through a floor. So this one right here was trying to break through the floor, but it couldn't. It went back up. Here is resistance. You think about a ceiling. You're trying to jump through and push through a ceiling. They tried to go up to the ceiling, didn't make it. Tried again, couldn't push through the ceiling, and it came back down. So support and resistance, they are one and the same. Okay, let's see. I can lay down one more line down here, just in case it comes down here. But this is the zone that we're looking at right here. So this, if you want to set a take profit, turn this back into candles. If you want to turn this in, if you want to take this as your take profit, say that it's going to come up to here. That is 1.99553 is the next support area where it could hit and come back down. So you've got a couple of options with your trades. You can either set a take profit, or we ride the alligator mouth. You can just let it ride out. And you can set a trailing stop loss. So there are a lot of different options that you can do. So let's see, let's go back to our trade. Okay, so this is the line where we got in. Second. If you want to set take profit, I'm going to move it over so I can see my line. And actually what I'm going to do, let's do this. Let's grab our ruler and let's see how many pips that is from where it is now to this here. Okay, so that is a little over 20 pips. It's like 22.8 pips. So it's almost 23 pips. That would actually, that would be a great place for you to place a take profit. Okay, so once again, I will come to my trade that's running. I'll double click. See what I'm saying? Sometimes market execution will come up. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention to what the type is so that you don't accidentally put in another market execution and that's not what you're wanting to do. Okay, so what we're going to do is put in a pending order. Well, we're going to do that one next. Right now, let's go ahead and modify this one and get our take profit. So this up top is what's currently running. Down here, you see modify order. This is our modify order box down here at the bottom. Okay, let's go into our take profit box and put in 1.99553, which is the next support and resistance line up here, and then modify. Okay, so then when I come back over here, let's see, and I'm going to move my stochastic back down. So then when I come back over here to my MetaTrader 4, I can see here's my take profit line. And okay, so we're running in profit now. It's in profit. And this is my take profit line. Guys, good thing about the MetaTrader 4 on the computer is that you're able to hover over whatever line. This is the support and resistance line that I'm hovering over right now. Hover over the support and resistance line, left click, and you can drag it. You can drag it. You can move it. Okay. Now, what I want you guys to see, and I'm going to move it up under the first PSAR right here. So what I want you guys to see, if you look all the way over to the left, you'll see your order number. So look down here, we're in the terminal. Here is your order number that you have placed for this trade. So if you look all the way over to the left, you will see your order number. You'll see the SL, which stands for stop loss. Now I want you to watch what happens when I hover over that stop loss line. I'll left click and I move it. Okay, do you guys see This right here is the dollar amount. That first amount is the dollar amount. The next number is the number of pips that particular line is going to get you. Okay, so if I put it back and leave it there, okay, and I hover over that stop loss line, you will see that the amount, the US dollar amount, and the number of pips, which is the exact same thing that you saw over here on the left when you were moving that stop loss line. The same thing works for the take profit line. Exact same thing. All right, so you can see that would get 15.3 pips where it is right now. If you come over here to the upper left corner, you'll see a triangle beside the currency pair. If you touch that triangle beside the currency pair, it is going to move, okay? It's going to move your one-click price, currency price. But you can see your order number. You can see TP for take profit. You can see where you got in the trade. This is your order. And you can see the lot size that you got in it for. So if I do the same thing and hover over my take profit line, left click and move it, you can see, okay, you can see the number of pips, you can see the dollar amount. If I were to put it here, that is 21.5 pips, and that would get $56.42. Okay, if I move it here, that is 30.6 pips for $80.32. So it all depends on your lot size, what you're working with, where you have it, and where you want it to be. So if you're looking to get 10 pips, you can left click and move right here where it says 100. That's actually 10, because that third number, there is a decimal point. That's 10 pips right there. So if you look at your counter, and what I'm going to do is go ahead and take the grid off just to kind of clean it up so you can see it a little bit better. All right, so if you look at your pip counter, you'll see the number 4 and decimal and a number behind it. Okay, so it's counting down. That's the exact same thing that you're seeing when you're looking. If I hover over it, where it says pips 100, you don't see the decimal point. You're not going to see the decimal point. I'm going to left click and I'm going to move it up some more, because I know we can get some more pips out of that. Okay, almost 20. That is 19.9 pips right there. Okay, so it's what is comfortable for you. Where do you feel comfortable? What do you want? You can look at the dollar amount. You can look at the number of pips. It's all available for you right there. Now, let's get our one click back. We come over here to the triangle. We'll touch it again, and there it is. So this right here is also your current price that's running. So let's let it ride. We will let it ride. Okay. And it has entered its pullback stage. So that's why you want to use proper risk management and make sure your lot size is comparable to your balance, so that when it does hit that pullback, it won't take you out because you don't have enough money in your account balance. You don't want to blow your account balance. But that is exactly what can happen if your lot size is too high and your account balance cannot hold what you have as set as your lot size. Proper risk management, guys. Okay. So let's see. We've got a pending order running. And instead of doing, we've got a market execution running. Instead of doing a pending order on this one, I'm going to wait a little bit just to make sure it's going to keep going. Let's check out Eur Usd. Let's see what that one is doing. Okay. All right. So I'm going to make this a little bigger so that you guys can see. Okay, we've got some confusion going on with those candles. Those candles are confused. We got wicks coming out of both ends. So what that means is it came all the way down here for a sale. Then it went all the way back up here for a buy. Now it's come down again. So it's getting ready to make a turn. It's not sure which direction it wants to go in. So if it's confused, if it's not knowing which direction it wants to go in, we're going to wait until it knows which direction it wants to go in. Because see, look down here at the stochastic. It's right at the 80. It's making its turn. It's coming back down. Let's see what's going on in the market. Okay, 1 hour is in a strong buy. The 4 hour, that green has crossed the red and it has crossed the blue. So guys, when we're looking at the alligator, that's what we're looking at. We want that green to cross the red, and when it crosses the blue, you are good to go. That alligator mouth is getting ready to open up, and that's on the 4 hour. On the daily, it is also in a buy. Okay, so the overall trend of the market, remember the trend is your friend. The overall trend of the market is a buy. So it's buying right now. So that is the trend of the market, but it's getting ready to go through its pullback. So this is where we're going to do a pending order. Now remember, I tell you guys all the time, make sure your lot size is comparable to your account balance. You use proper risk management, and at no time should you risk more than 3% of your account balance. Okay. So remember, one of the things that that we do is you look at your compound growth sheet. Are you trying to grow your account by 10%? Or do you want to do it by 20%? With this being an Excel spreadsheet, you can change it. All right. So if you want 20%, you can do that. And you will know exactly how many pips you need to be trying to get, how many pips, and your lot size, what your lot size should be for the number of pips that you're trying to get so that you can meet your profit goal for the day. So if you want to grow 10% or 20%, that is up to you, but just know what your lot size should be and how many pips you're trying to get for that day to get your daily goal for profit. Okay, so that's why we say proper risk management. Don't try to overdo it. Don't try to get zealous or greedy. Just make sure that you're using proper risk management. Awesome. Look at this right here. Good. Okay. So that next candle, it actually still continued on in the direction. So we could actually do another market execution. So this one is going to be up to you. You can either do a market execution or you can do a pending order. I'm going to do a pending order because I want to make sure. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. I want to make sure that everybody knows what to look for when doing a pending order. Okay, so I'm going to move this over. Now, guys, I want you to look at the screen. You can see this, this light dotted line right here where my cursor is. That is the current price. Okay, so this way you can see it go all the way across. So when you move your chart so that you can lay your support and resistance lines down, you will also be able to see where the current price is. Okay, so I like to do the lines. I'm going to come up. I'm going to change my candles into lines. There is my current price. And actually, if you guys can see, it's sitting at a support and resistance line now. So let's go ahead and put it down where it is. Okay, you see it touched here. It tried to come up and down. Here it touched over here. All right, let's see where it can go. All right, now as I move my cursor, it's moving my crosshairs. So what that allows you to do is use your eyes and go across and look at that line and see where are those peaks hitting that crosshair multiple times, and then that lets you know that's a good area for a support and resistance line. Okay, so you can see right here, it has tried to come. Okay, it's touched several times here. Let's see, it fought and didn't won here. Okay, so this is another support and resistance area. This is another zone right in here. And let's see. We can do this one right here. Just to give us another zone. Okay. So I'm going to turn my candles back on because these are the Heikin-Ashi candles. The Heikin-Ashi candles show the trend in the market. So that's why I like using the Heikin-Ashi candles. It shows the trend in the market. Okay. And I'm going to come over, making it bigger. I'm going to bring it down. Okay, so if I were looking to place a pending order on this one, I can see that it has come up to this support and resistance line several times, but it hasn't pushed through this support and resistance line yet. But I'm looking at the alligator mouth. The alligator mouth is wide open. The trend of the market is in a buy, and the alligator mouth is wide open into a buy. So I feel confident that these candles will gain enough momentum to push through this support and resistance line, but I'm going to wait until it pushes through the support and resistance line before I get into my trade. So remember, You've got the PSARs that show let's see what the market is doing. It shows the trend. Okay, look at that first candle, that first PSAR, second candle, second PSAR. So I'm going to get my line. I'm going to change the color. So these are all the factors that I'm looking at, okay? I want it to push through the support and resistance line. So I'm going to say, okay, when it comes up to here, this is when I want it to activate, because this will be enough momentum for it to gain and push through that support and resistance line. If it pushes up through here, it's going to keep going. If it can make it through here, it's going to keep going. Okay, so this would be my price that I want to get in. And remember, we were counting our PSARs. Candle 1, PSAR 1. Candle 2, PSAR 2. I'm going to put my support and resistance line right up under that second PSAR, okay, because it shows a reversal in the market. So more than likely, if that candle starts coming back down, it's not going to go past this PSAR unless it completely turns and goes in the opposite direction. Then that means there is a reversal in the market and the market is going in the opposite direction now. Okay, so this is EUR USD. Let's go to our MetaTrader 4 and we will go to EUR USD. Pull that one up on the chart. Let me put this down so you can see it a little better. And we're going to go new order. Move this over. Now I'm going to move my MetaTrader 4 over, okay, in order to see the numbers that I just put down on TradingView. Okay, so I'm not going to get into a market execution this time. I'm going to do a pending order. Okay, remember, up here is what's going on. Pending order. This is my pending order box down here at the bottom. What we're looking to get into is a buy stop. A buy stop lets you know it's going to get to a certain price point and it's going to keep going in that buy direction. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. Our at price that we want to get into the market was the pink line that we laid down. So we can see that number right here, which is 1.18602. Now, when you hear me say point, you actually have to put the decimal point in. Let me show you what happens if you don't. All right, so if you just type in 1 and then 1, 8, as you can see what's happening. It's going to continue to put the numbers on this side of the decimal point. And that is not going to match up. So when you get ready to try to place your order, that's not where you want it to be. You can't even see that. Okay, so I'm going to double click and I'm going to modify. This is not the price point that we want to get in our trade. Okay, let me change it. Okay, so here we go, that pink number, 1.18465. Okay, and You can do it one or two ways. If you're trying to do your pending order quickly, go ahead and hit modify. Go ahead and put your order in, and then you can come back and modify. But we've got a little time, so I'm just going to go ahead and put in my stop loss number 1.18182. I'm going to use this next take profit. It's the support and resistance line, but I'm going to use it as my take profit line. Okay, so I'm going to come down here to my take profit box, and I'm going to put in 1.18602. Okay, and there we have it. All right, so when we look here, now you can see the stop loss. Now you can see, let me pull it down so that you guys can see a little better. So I'm going to adjust the price points over here, which allow you to see. Right here is where my trade will activate. All right, pull it down a little bit more, and you can see this is where my take profit will be. Okay, so the trade is going to activate when it gets here, and then it'll hit my take profit line up here. I'm going to keep watching, because as the trade keeps running, these PSARs are going to continue to form for each candle, and that's when you want to move your PSAR, move your stop loss closer to whatever PSAR you're in. All right. Let's see. And okay. Okay, so just going to let that run, let it do what it's going to do. All right, so let me move this down. If I wanted to do, and like I said, you know, looking at the trend of the market, the trend is your friend. So looking at the market, you know, it's been in a strong buy, you know, all the way up to the daily. Move that back down so you can see. It's, you know, it's had some pullback, but it's been in a strong buy. So it's a very good possibility that it can hit this take profit 1 and then keep going. Okay, so let's see, let's get our ruler and see how many pips this zone has. So that is exactly 41 pips. So you can break this down and do, let's see, let's do it right here. I'm going to change the color, and I'm going to lay a line down right here, right at the top of my area where I had my measurement, and this could be take profit 2. Okay, so this is already take profit 1, and I'll change that color so that that support and resistance line is now our take profit. Okay, so this is where we're getting in. This is our activation price. This is our take price. This is our take profit 1, and you can use this for the take profit 2. Well, you don't have to stop there. You can use this for your take profit 3. But you just want to be careful and make sure that it's still going in the direction that you want it to go. Because if it makes a turn and it goes in the opposite direction, then you want to be cognizant and aware of that. Okay. So it's up to you if you want to put in another pending order. with these. It is now 6 o'clock. So that is going to end our trading session for today.